we go. Hey, we're live. Look at us.
We're not getting tech up, so we're gonna need...
Uh, uh, Welcome to Twitchline.
Nice little background you got.
Yeah, so I stole this background directly from the Bear Paints website because during our hiatus off of Twitch, professional companies started creating professional Zoom backgrounds to advertise their products so that make it look like I was in a, I don't know, den? This is from Bear Paints, and they're advertising their dark green paint that's behind me. And they give away these Zoom backgrounds so that people can use them in calls like this. So, yeah, apparently that is a new market. That so
you
your
need to
background,
get so popular on the internet that they pay you to put their backgrounds behind you.
well, that's the thing, right? Like, I need to be. So, therefore, my background is actually an advertisement for some company while I'm doing it.
Like Chick-fil-A.
That's right.
The
Exactly.
background needs to be like a bunch of chicken. I would like to see that.
It'd be like, have you ever watched the movie Major League where the guy, for every stolen base he has, like, he hangs up a pair of gloves? Yes. So for every Chick-fil-A sandwich that I eat, I hang one of those wrappers in the background until I have like 100 Chick-fil-A's.
Was that Willie Mays Hayes?
Willie Mays Hayes, that's right. Where you going, meat? I'm going 90 feet. For anybody that's joining us right now, welcome to Twitchline. It's Z and Tim. Hello, everybody. We've been locked down since... When was the last time we did a show? Good Lord.
A long time ago. I was looking at the YouTube channel and some of those videos from a year ago. So
yeah, that is a long, long time. So it is one of those things in which we haven't done this in a long time. So we really don't have, prep. So we're just going to freestyle it for an hour or so and just sort of, I guess. So anybody that discovers us, welcome. We're just going to be talking about random things. I have topics that we probably are not going to stick to. But at the same time, it's just us practicing what we're doing, and you get to see us live. We're live. Tim used to be just a photo right there, and it would just be a photo of his profile from his good side. Just, and that's all you would see, and you'd hear him talking, but not actually see him talking. Now you get to see him talk, and I don't know if that's any good. Does it in any way improve? No, I don't know. But yeah, we're casting through Zoom for the video. Audio is going through another program to make it sound better. We had audio issues when we were testing this on my other channel on Monday. So now we're just doing our thing. So, yay! But other than that, how's your week been going? It is Hump Day. So for everybody who doesn't know what that means, it's a Wednesday. Or actually, in about 9 minutes, it's going to be Thursday if you're on the East Coast. But usually this is the day that and it's all downhill towards you heading towards the weekend. This weekend, first Virginia Tech football game, Tim.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. I don't know. I think what we're going to need to do is we're going to have to watch it via Zoom somehow. We share screens. That way we watch it together that way, depending on where it's being streamed.
Have they figured out, they've had a year to figure out the ACC network issue. Have they figured out a way to make that just tied in with ESPN?
No. They want to basically get as much money as they can. So they're going to try to make you pay $5 an extra a month so that you get the ACC network. Now, I'm willing to pay that extra $5, but then I would be willing to also host a Zoom call where then I project my screen that has the ACC network on it, and everybody can just watch my high-speed connection because I have gigabit internet, and therefore everybody should be able to stream what I'm streaming very, very easily. So, fuck you, ESPN.
Yeah, I mean, it's like we're already paying how much money per month for a billion channels we don't watch. Why not just let us pay for the channels we want? We can leave the rest of that shit out.
You would hope you would think so, but no, they want as much money as they can. But what are you gonna do, right? So gonna have to live with that. So we'll figure something out, I guess, this weekend. I don't even know who they play. I think they play NC State.
Yeah, North Carolina.
No, Kakalaki. So that'll be fun to watch this weekend. Other than that, it's just basically same old for me. Working from home, not really doing very much. Just doing what I normally do. For you, I guess it's been very eventful, but at the same time, you're going to be doing stuff. I'm not exactly sure. So
We're moving all the furniture and stuff like that out of my mom's place.
yep. So doing all of that. Just
Moving day.
moving day. That's going to be interesting. So, but in the meantime, it's like, with the life of COVID, I went to Burlington Pizza today. Got myself an order of fries and a slice of cheese. They still have the best French fries, I think, anywhere. I just love those thick cut steak fries. There's something about them that I really, really like. And I don't go in there and just order the fries because that'd be just me being fat, because I would order two portions of fries and nothing else. The guy might look at me weird.
Hey man, live your life.
I don't know. Well, I don't want that 17-year-old to be on the counter judging me like he judges you when you order.
That kid? No man, I hate that kid. The owner's awesome. His wife, fine. The older brother, pretty cool. The younger brother, piece of shit.
He's on Twitch right now. He's like, what the fuck? What is he talking
He's
about?
gonna be, even if he saw that, he would be the exact same as if I had never said anything. If I was on here saying, oh man, he's the best person I've ever seen in my life, just love that kid, then he would still be like the sort of brooding teenage dipshit that wants to make everyone as unhappy as he is.
Yeah, those people are just annoying. I don't understand. Because you're unhappy does not give you the right to make me unhappy. Or at least stare at me weird. That always happens.
Or the strange, my dad owns this tiny Greek cafe, therefore I have power. You know what? Yeah, I will get around to filling the ice machine again, but it's going to be on my time, okay?
These are my hopes, my dreams. They're gone. I'm taking it back. One ice cube at a time. It's like, jeez. So, but yeah, I mean, nothing very exciting. Every Wednesday, though, the reason I go to Fairlington Pizza on Wednesday is because every Wednesday at the NGM, they've been giving away free cookware. All I have to do is show up at noon, scan my card, get it. And for the last 3 weeks, I've won about $150 every time I've gone, on top of getting the free cookware, which has been very, very nice, because it's like I get stainless steel pots and I get $150. So it's like the greatest bonus in the world. But I was listening to WTOP today, and apparently the MGM is like number 7 on the highest risk places to get COVID. So hence why I go in and go out as fast as I can. But it makes me
you can get your, skillet and a decent case of COVID at the same time.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily worth it. But I haven't stepped foot in that place ever since March. And it's interesting what they're trying to do, as they have partitions between a lot of the machines. They were doing upgrades today, so it wasn't even really. I didn't even play today, so I literally went in the lobby, got my cookware, and left. It was a 9.5-inch stainless steel. What is it? I guess it's a high-rimmed frying pan with a glass lid. Very cool. Retail price $69.95. So.
But for you just gotta show up.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I just scan the thing, gives me a little ticket, and then I walk over to the ticket, show my ID, show my card. Free cookware. I almost have a full set. Next week is the last piece, and it's a 9.5 quart Dutch oven. So, therefore, I would have gotten, that's the final piece of all of it. And then I have a whole, stainless steel set.
And you've gotten every single item up to this point.
Up to this point, correct.
Bro, gotta complete the set. Gotta get tier bonuses.
That's right. Gives me 15% to eviscerate as a rogue. Gotta do it. So, one of the topics I think was that topic number 2. Yeah, topic number 2 is Shadowlands. I put it up on there because I figured we'd talk about that because we are on a gaming network, Twitch, and we should talk about games, I guess. So on what is it, October 27th? Is that the date?
Yeah, end of October.
End of October. WoW Shadowlands comes out. Both of us have been playing retail a bit, a couple hours every other night or so here and there, just trying to get my retail character up. I am level.
Yeah, we'll just teach you how to play again.
Yeah, that's true too. Because I can get a free 120 characters or free 60 character as soon as Shadowlands comes out. So
they this guy here is returning to WoW after what, 15 years?
Yes.
He played the actual vanilla and then
nothing. a little bit of Burning Crusade. Yeah. I got to 70 in Burning Crusade, and then I played Ice Crown, or what is it called? What the hell was the one I pronounced it? Wrath of the Lich King, because somebody dragged me in and said, "Oh, you should play this. This is going to be really fun." And I played, and I was like, I don't know what the hell's going on. And I didn't have a guild, and didn't have really people to just sort of hang out with. And
you just fell through the cracks, man.
I know, I was just one of those guys. Now, WoW seems to be more catered to solo players because you can be part of a guild, but there's a lot of shit that you can do by yourself. So you can stay busy, essentially, if nobody wants to talk to you or be your friend, which is interesting. Dungeons are different because you just have to hit a button, and then all of a sudden you're eligible for specific dungeons if you want them specific, or other dungeons if you want to be others.
Yeah,
it's so easy. You. Yeah, they auto match you. People are still toxic as hell if you don't know what you're doing. I mean, it hasn't changed in 20 years. I mean, 15 years, whatever the hell it is. So, but this new expansion literally is trying to, I guess, placate the hardcores as well as people who have thought that the last 2 expansions were garbage. So, I know that you liked... I don't know if you liked Battle for Azeroth, but you were a fan of Legion, though, right? You liked Legion?
Honestly, I liked them all. I didn't play Pandaland.
But that was just to placate the Chinese. Yeah. I mean, Pandaland is essentially there, just the Chinese players,
And
hey.
People who played it liked it, but no, I just wasn't in the mode at that time. But I came back in Warlords of Draenor, and everyone hates that one. I didn't mind it. Actually, I liked it a lot. Not because I was pushing all the content and everything like that, but because I actually ended up making friends. Sorry, my wife just got the character she wanted in Animal Crossing.
Oh, well, there you go. That's a big event right there. That needs to happen.
She got a very angry octopus.
I heard the gasp, so I know it was a good thing. It's just like, but yeah, I mean, no, it's fine.
So, where was I? Yeah. So and really the reason I enjoyed that one so much was just because of the community, the friends I made there. So, I didn't have a problem with it. Legion was fine. BFA was fine, but I didn't get to play it as much. So at this point, when Shadowlands is coming out, again, I don't really know what kind of time I'll have to play it, but from what I've seen of it, it looks pretty good. It looks pretty accessible to everyone. They're going to allow people to get their play the game how they want to play it, and then get rewards based on that. It's not going to be as horribly RNG, dependent. Of course, that's the game. That'll be part of it, but being able to choose what goes in your chest at the end of the week is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is pretty. It is pretty neat, and there's just a lot of squishing the levels, making people go back to only level 60 is the highest that you can go. So people that were 120 go back down to 60. Very interesting concept.
That's pretty regular though. They've been squishing over and over again each expansion.
Well, I mean, but they've been going up though, right? Like, I mean, it's 70 to 80, 80 to
the number going up, but the numbers, like you hit something and how much damage you get, the numbers were getting just insane in the millions, and then they had to bring it back down, crept back up. So there's a squish of some sort or another, and then the gold squish.
Yeah, and then the gold squish.
People were making too much money, Somebody was making too much money. And then they thought, oh, we can't have people with that much money. That'll ruin the game. So then they made things very expensive and made the gold not drop as much. And now the people that got rich before were just doing fine.
So
Thank you.
right now, you are theoretically the 1% of the WoW
Yeah, oh, yeah.
community. But everybody
More than that.
knows it takes money to make money. So
Sure.
will we have a realistic situation where it's very similar to the current world that we exist, where the billionaires have all of the money and will just make more and more money based on the money that they have?
I mean, yes, the people with a lot of money will make more money, and more easily. But the price of entry is actually not that bad. It's really easy to make money in the game, and it's really easy. Like at the entrance of new content or new expansion, new raids, whatever else, it's so low effort to make a bunch of money. So it's just about learning it. It's like you play PvE and you learn PvP and how it's different, and learn what it takes to do that. Making gold in WoW is the same. You just need to learn what goes, what moves, what needs to be farmed up, and then at some point, depending on how you want to play the game, you can just step back and let the money make the money.
Yeah, and you demonstrated that. Like we were just doing what we were doing, just questing around. I saved all of my mining mats and the cloths and everything like that, and just put them all in the auction house all at the same time. And I made, what is it, like 1,300 gold in a span of a day, just putting random crap up after questing for 3 hours. Is crazy.
Right, and that's like not even low effort. That's zero effort.
Yeah,
All you did was play the game normally and throw whatever you had in your bags up, and that just came.
Yeah,
through.
we weren't
You got
hunting anything
2,000,
specific.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 2,400, and then I bought stuff because I like buying stuff, and that is like very relaxing. Even though I'm at a level which a lot of stuff is just sort of pointless if you buy loot because you're still leveling up and you really only want like higher level stuff. But it's always nice to be current in your.
Yeah.
Why the
I mean,
heirloom gear
I've-
was good.
At the point where I was just trying to level guys up and just get to the level as fast as possible, I would end up getting to 60, 70, and not have bracers, like just not have gear in a certain slot because it just didn't matter. With heirlooms, you just roll over everything. So
Yeah.
We'll see. That the leveling thing is probably going to change a little bit with the new expansion. The pre-patch should hit maybe in a week from now.
It's hit.
And
I thought somebody was saying that it's already hit.
no, the download for it is there, so it auto downloaded, but you can't play it until it hits, and it'll be noticeable, the difference. And then those things that you've been selling and leveling mats and stuff like that are going to be used for something, so the prices on that should probably go up.
Go up here.
So,
Right.
make more money.
Well, it'll be fun. So, but yeah, WoW Shadowlands comes out end of October, and rumor has it also. This is the absurd part about this whole thing that I wanted to talk about, were the tyrannical guildmasters in WoW Classic that are preventing their guild members from playing Shadowlands. So, Tim saw it on Reddit yesterday, and I saw it in my Discord of the Classic Guild that I'm in, that guildmasters from a lot of the realms are really trying to restrict their members from playing Shadowlands and calling them quitters if they do play it, and restricting them from raiding, which is, one, makes no sense, but it just reminds me of like the sort of dictatorial guildmasters that exist in classic WoW 15 years ago, and it hasn't changed. Like, these people were maniacal then, and now they're just, I don't know. I don't even know what the hell to call it. I mean, it's just delusional would be the worst, because we just our guild created a separate retail guild in retail so that we could sort of play as a group from Classic into Shadowlands when we're not playing Classic. So essentially, it's just like, all right, you wanna play Classic, you wanna play retail, fine. Everybody have fun. The whole point is it's a game. I don't understand people sometimes.
There's going to be a peel off, and there, some guilds are just not going to make it. They're going to fall apart.
Oh yeah.
And other ones that are hardcore classic are going to continue on, and they'll enjoy themselves. But the way you describe your guild, I'm uncertain how it's going to end up, because you have people that want to do both, and the way the game's played, Classic is very demanding of time. Retail with a new expansion can be very demanding of time.
Yep.
There's just not enough hours in the day.
Oh no,
So
you're
either
absolutely
people
right.
are just going to start like pooping in their chairs, or
There's a giant hole right below my chair right now. It's just where the poop goes.
yes,
I don't get up.
They'll either do that, or they'll make a decision, and there'll be a lot of angry guild leaders.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, like even our guild is sort of preparing for it, because it's like, when Shadowlands releases at the end of October, there's going to be a rating sort of blackout. I think we even know that. It's like, take a break for 2 weeks. Something else. Everybody hates AQ. That instance fucking sucks. It takes forever to get through. The trash is garbage. The loot is pretty much the same as BWL loot, except different pieces here and there, light adjustments and stuff like that. That's it. So it's like, not even like when you even look at the loot, it just gives other people like me who didn't get a lot of BWL loot an option for other gear. So I'm a blue rogue. My friend is a red rogue because he has full 8 Bloodfang and doesn't want to break it. So it's like, he's not going to get any tier pieces. All he wants is a death sting and some trinkets, and that's it. Yay. So it's like, okay, that's great. We've killed Cthulhu God knows how many times at this point. It's like, is it worth it just to kill the trash before and after Twin? That's the worst part of the freaking game. So it's like, but that was a little bit of the absurd. Another piece of absurdity. So that would be what I have here. I am actually going to switch video mode and try to produce a little bit, because what I am going to do is I'm going to minimize the screen, I think, and I can bring up, yes, this right here. So transition. Hey! We're talking a little politics here, just to switch subjects a little bit. But as you know, the 2020 elections will be happening soon. And everybody's preparing for a giant big clusterfuck leading up to the election. And in an apparent strategy, the Republicans have started saying that Democratic lawmakers are defending sex offenders and specifically pedophiles, as they have started running ads across the country saying that particular candidates are pro pedophiles or pro sex offenders, in an effort to basically say the libs are terrible people. And you can read this article on Yahoo. It breaks down everything, but it was just one of the things I saw today, which was ridiculous on no end. And it was just like, has the world just gotten to a point where everybody just needs to stop for a moment and just sort of think about what's going on? Because you said it, you think that it's just going to get worse before it gets better.
Yeah, I'm certain of it. Yeah, as we get closer to November, yep. But this is not just Republicans doing this. This is this subversive bunch of nut jobs, QAnon, who really should not even be mentioned on the news. They are nothing. They're a bunch of idiots, a bunch of conspiracy theorists, and they're getting all this attention because it's like a cycle. They're getting attention, and that allows them to get more people to kind of check out their stuff, which gets them more followers, and then they become relevant somehow. And they've even picked up positions in the government because they are supportive of our dear leader. And, with him, if you are, human-eating reptile lord from another planet, but you support him, you've got a job, and you're going to get a pat on the back. So QAnon people, while they should be laughed out of the room, are ending up getting attention.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Like you have the rise of alternative news networks, like what is it? OAN is one, Newsmax is another, and then you have the crazy man Alex Jones, who has made a living literally yelling anything that comes into his head.
Insane. They're
Yeah,
all insane.
they're all insane. And the thing about it is like with the internet allows this ridiculousness to exist because of the fact that
It doesn't just allow it; it promotes it.
it promotes it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that it just for
And,
those
and
who
when you say the internet, we're talking about people that monetize, advertise, and profit from the speedy flow of information. And just like just like a juicy rumor at school, the weirder, crazier, wilder it gets, the more quickly it's going to spread, and the more ears are going to catch it.
yeah
So,
yeah
this whole thing, like how do you get people to perk up their ears? Sensational, insane, crazy shit like pedophile rings in pizza parlors in DC and stuff like that. Like, just throw some crap out there, make sure it's shiny enough, and people will be like jumping on it.
so I went to that pizza place.
Yeah, did you
One of our
shoot at it?
uh, one of our friends was up. She is a writer and was doing some sort of symposium at one of the universities in town, and brought her husband, who is one of our best friends, and their new baby, and they decided that they wanted to meet at that pizza place. This was a year ago, I think, a year or two ago, and it was just about 6 months after the dude came in with a rifle looking for the locked up children that were in the basement of the place. Um, the basement there was no basement, because when you go to the bathroom, you literally go right by the kitchen and the storage areas. So everybody looks like, hey, is there a basement hidden anywhere? It's like,
But
no.
that's the thing, right? It's like it doesn't even have to be close to true. It just has to be loud
Yeah,
and like attract attention.
yeah. It's just it's crazy. It's so baffling when you really think about it. And but even those who don't believe it, you were like, you talk to the people, the waitresses, the owner that were there, and they're just like, yeah, we just got caught up in it. We didn't know what was going on. And it's like, and it didn't really affect their business in any way, because the people who lived in the area knew that what they were saying was just a joke. I mean, this dude had driven in from Iowa, I think,
Yeah.
and they were playing into the sensibilities of the people who don't live in the DC area. So it was one of those things in which it's like, you can fool those people, but the people who actually live there is no way they were going to fool them, because
You don't have to worry about 99.9% of people listening to it. A vast majority of people will hear that and they'll be like, well, that's fucking stupid. Pass. And then there'll be some people will be like, huh, that's worth reading an article about. Oh, that's fucking stupid. Pass. And then you'll have a even smaller selection of people that'll be like, this feeds into what I already kind of believe about the enemy, which is the other side of the political spectrum. Why don't I believe it because it's convenient for me? Or at least make fun of it and post about it,
Yeah.
and that gets someone else to look for it, and just and eventually you get to the farthest end of the spectrum, this tiny, tiny minority of people, and they're like, nobody's doing anything about this. I have a gun. I'll be the savior, and I'll go to that pizza parlor and show up, and rescue the children from the basement.
Yeah, and that's what happened. It's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, and they're playing they're playing it up now. I mean, like with all that QAnon stuff, and that woman in Georgia, she's going to run unopposed as a Republican for a seat in the House of Representatives, the federal House of Representatives, federal government. She's going to win because she has no opponent. She is in a deep red section of Georgia, and she will be able to spout all of that stuff on the floor of the U.S. Congress. That thing. So
It is.
that closes up my section of the absurd, because it is. There's no other way to basically describe it, but you could go on forever about these crazy people. And it's just one of those things in which um, it's just crazy. Nothing you can do about it. There was a video I did want to link you, Tim, but maybe we might want to do it for another show. But it is, I think I told you about it. It's Gordon Ramsay makes nasi goreng, and he went out of focus there for a second. I was very, very proud of Chef Gordon Ramsay as he went to my country of Indonesia and decided to cook a lot of foods. But there is something that I found very, very disturbing about the whole thing, and that was his pronunciation of rendang. He calls it randang, and I don't understand how the hell he pronounces it that way when it's not even anywhere spelled like that. Because he was making nasi goreng, but in his recipe it was I talked to my mom who watched the video and loved it also, but he was making something called nasi goreng kampung, which is like country fried rice, meaning that he was putting in ingredients that were more sort of like rural and sort of home style nasi goreng. But he uses rendang paste in the nasi goreng, which is very delicious and basically just imparts it with MSG. But he calls it randang, and he mentions that pronunciation multiple times, and it's just jarring to listen to. As a person who also went to Indonesia, and I hope appreciated everything that he saw there. He seemed like he had a good time. Like, what would be the thing that would bother you the most after experiencing the culture that people would get wrong? Mine's is like pronunciation, like of like words in Indonesian that just I don't understand how it can be so far off from the actual word. And
I think it's pretty easy if you're using your your first language and applying the grammatical rules to a word that you don't know in another language, but it's still been Romanized, it's still been written out, or I'm guessing that he read it rather than heard like a local speak it.
Probably, yeah.
But it's kind of strange that he sounds almost like a Southern American.
Yeah, that was the thing. It bothered the crap out of me. Yeah, it bothered the crap out of me. You need to watch the video because he makes a very good fried rice, and honestly, you should probably copy the recipe because probably make it at home and it'd be very, very good. But short of using I cheat and I use the bumbu rendang, bumbu nasi goreng, which is like pre-made like little sauce that you can actually put into the rice. I know,
man.
But most Indonesians do that. Most Indonesians don't go that far, so it's like
no. I'm an OG, man. I will look at those Indonesians and be like, y'all don't got it. I'll show you.
One thing I did regret though is like remember when we lived together at College Park. I didn't make very much Indonesian food. I think I made Indonesian food once. One time, and that very regrettable because we could have had.
I'm still your friend.
I know. We could have had nasi goreng every Sunday morning, and that would have been amazing.
Give it back to me.
I'm telling you, there are a whole bunch of things I would reboot about college life.
Eating, man. Yeah. Dude, when we went to Bali, I was very happy with every meal. Just
it was good.
Spice hit you. It's nice. Seafood was good. I mean, I'm a big fan of rendang, anyways. The shrimp chips, delish. But I don't know. I don't know if there's anything I saw there, or that I don't even know that people have enough of an idea of what is Indonesian culture, Indonesian cuisine, to say that there would be something that would annoy me. Like, people just don't know.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? The Thai people have stolen the Southeast Asian thunder from us, and I don't get it. Thai food is good, but it's not as good as Indonesian food. It isn't. At least to me.
But it's its own thing, right? Like, we don't have to do this. We don't have to be like, oh, Vietnamese food is better than, like, we can like it all. But people just don't know.
Yeah.
And or if they do know, I'm a little bit scared of what they know and where they got it from, because there's not a lot of Indonesian restaurants out there. And what you'll usually see is like Pan-Asian fusion type restaurants
Correct.
where they'll have Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese, Thai, and they'll have like Korean, and then they'll have one Indonesian dish, and it's made by people that have probably never
Never
made
had
Indonesian food before, never know anything about it. Yeah, don't have the ingredients, and so they're
And that
another
food is usually satay, skewered chicken on sticks,
right.
and usually they would normally make it the Thai way because there are multiple ways to do it. They usually will call it that, but it will be like a Thai recipe. Because Indonesian satay is usually very, very tiny on sticks and is slathered in sweet soy sauce and like onion, like fried onion and thing, and you dip it in a really creamy peanut sauce, and it is. I could have like 20 sticks of this stuff.
My
It's
heart.
so good. Oh, so good.
And it's like fresh off the grill.
And it's charcoal. Not really. It's not gas. It's charcoal.
Right.
And you do it. Like that's why like most Indonesians in America have little hibachis, because like that's the best way to cook satay is let's just right over like a flaming pit of charcoal, which is.
The ones that I've had in America, they kind of
are bigger. They're usually bigger.
Right. It's almost like a kebab or something like that. Like it's just not it.
It's because like well in Indonesia, the way it is, it's like over there, the portion control, like people are usually more like they will chop the chicken into very, very small pieces, or the lamb or the beef. Yeah. So I saw the arm come through the tree.
She thinks she's being stealthy, but your arm showed up on the screen. Just your arm.
Yeah. It was like an arm showed up out of the ocean, sort of like coming like a monster. It's like, But like, yeah, in Indonesia, they chop the chicken up really, really small, and then they marinate it in garlic, sweet soy sauce, onions, sambal. Usually they put a little sambal in there, and then marinate it, and then they cook it over an open charcoal flame. And then there's a guy, like Obama said, when he was giving a speech at the University of Indonesia, there would be a guy that comes around 7 o'clock every night, walking through the neighborhood, yelling, "Satay! Satay!" And that's the guy that you want to buy from. Because if you don't buy from that guy, he'll run out before he's gone. So
Street vendors are the real thing when you go to Asia.
I'm telling you.
That's where you get the food.
Yeah, especially if you go. Yeah.
After like going out to the bars and clubs in Beijing, late at night, you spill out. You're barely walking straight, and you hungry for something. They would have these, basically satay. It's like meat on a stick, different kinds of meat, usually lamb, spiced, and you get like 10 of them for $1 or less than that. And so you just go to town, you'd be like, hey, yeah, hi, can I get 50 of these right now? Because that's nothing money wise, and I'm just going to eat all of it and disgust myself.
Mm-hmm.
You just get this handful of usually it was on wood,
like little bamboo skewers.
Yeah, wooden skewers. You just have a handful of them, go around, hand them out to people. Everyone's really friendly. Everyone wants the same thing. So,
I'm telling you, yeah, man. Yeah, they don't have that here. That's the thing about America that sometimes sort of sucks, is the fact that like you don't have that sort of street vendor culture, and like in certain places. So,
right, because I think there's a part of it, like you can get that with, like food trucks and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But because of there's a benefit to having the FDA. It protects you. There are a number of times that I had food from a street cart in Asia that did not end well. Okay, for me or anyone else. So it's nice to have some kind of regulation here. So while you miss out on the good part, you also don't have to deal with the bad part.
No, you're absolutely right. But when you have a sudden craving for something, and all you have to do is wait until a certain hour, and it'll just walk by your house, there's something nice about that. And that exists in Indonesia, and even in Jakarta. That's the crazy part. Like it's still, Jakarta is a city of 13 million people, and even in the neighborhoods, like there are a lot of gated communities in Jakarta. These street vendors will walk around the gated communities, doing their thing, and will make a living doing that, selling everything from soto ayam to satay to rendang to everything like that, and it'll just walk by your house at a certain hour. And you can, when you buy the first time, you can always ask, like, "Hey, what time are you going to be back tomorrow?" And then you can sort of plan yourself around when he's going to be coming back, and he knows that he's got another customer coming. It's actually pretty cool.
You should dedicate some time online here to introduce to people what you're talking about. Not just, the stories and everything, but like show them pictures. What is rendang? What goes in it? How do people make it? And that kind of thing. I think we're complaining about how people don't understand and don't know what the food is like. But, sharing that with them might be a good thing.
Oh yeah, I think that might be a fun thing actually. Showing
Or
pictures
just,
of
do a live cooking thing on there, and I'll come over and I'll eat that shit.
Yeah, we could just set up my camera and computer in the kitchen, and then we just go to town and making it right there. So it's really fun. But yeah, I mean, it's funny because I complain about Indonesian food not being well known, but it's our fault. We are terrible marketers of our own culture, and like along with the fact that it was not a priority to let the world know, even though there were parts of the world like the Dutch who loved Indonesia. They were colonial masters for a good 400 years, but like they knew a good thing when they saw it, and it's like they still have parts of Indonesian culture embedded in Dutch society. Indonesian grocery stores exist in Holland all over the place. Indonesian food is wrapped into a lot of Dutch culture. It's actually really cool. But they were really the only ones. I mean, so it's like we need to go out there and advertise, and Indonesia sucks at it. So what that they need to do is have a lot of Indonesians open up every place where a Thai restaurant opens up, or opens up right next door. It's like give you the option.
Well, I mean, we had that one restaurant kind of in our neighborhood here, and probably a decade ago it disappeared, and I wouldn't know where to go. I guess go into DC if we wanted to get some Indonesian.
Yeah, because he turned into a food truck and he makes more money. So what he did? Yeah, what he did
but
is
he wasn't thinking about me, was he?
No, he wasn't. No, that's why he's selfish. So selfish. But he makes more money now selling satay out of the truck. And what happened was like I used to have a Dutch producer where I worked, and he would come down every 3 weeks or so from Connecticut, and we would have lunch or we would have dinner like Wednesday or Tuesday nights, and we would go to the Indonesian restaurant, and he would love it. And he would always order the same thing. Like, we would never be very experimental. We'd get some satay, get some rendang, some krupuk udang, some rice, and it'd be fantastic. So it was great. So, but
you know what's messed up about this? Beyond the fact that I can't have this food right now, is that it probably will be a very long time before I can go to Indonesia again. Because the last time we went there, I flew from the Middle East over there, and that was somewhat reasonable flight length. But to fly from here to Indonesia is how many hours?
24.
24 hours.
24 hours.
Plane.
And it doesn't matter which way you go. It doesn't matter if you go west from where we're sitting and go through LA and then to Hong Kong to Singapore to Jakarta, or if you go east through Frankfurt, Germany, and then from Frankfurt to Singapore, which that flight sucks so much. It sucks so much because it is about 14 hours in a plane, and you just are in that tube forever, and you just want to sort of pop to Ambien and just be like, "Dude, get over yet?" And then by the time you get to Singapore, you could have two options. You either have the option of staying the day and just trying to adjust, but because you're completely on an opposite schedule, because it'll be 9 a.m. in Singapore, it'll be 9 p.m. Where you originally were from. So you're like completely opposite of what it is. So like you're trying to adjust, and it takes a couple days to get the timing right, or you're just effed.
If you're going to Indonesia, take a month, all right, and cut it up. So pick some place between here and Indonesia, go there first, spend a week, make the rest of the way over to Indonesia, 2 weeks, come back, going the other way around the world, stop somewhere else, 1 week, bam, come home, and then regret coming home.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when we went, remember back when we did, I stopped in Tokyo for 3 days, so I was in Japan for a good, running around being old weeby. So it's like I got to see my anime hotspots, got to see Sega World, which was great. Going and then seeing girls in maid cafe outfits advertising in front of their little cafes and stuff like that. Very interesting. But my Japanese is not good. So therefore I was afraid a lot of places where I would go because I was hoping like, trying to communicate was somewhat difficult, but I got around and 7-Elevens there are amazing.
Yeah.
So if you are ever in Japan and are hungry, 7-Eleven is not 7-Eleven like it is here in the United States. It's like you're not getting just nachos and a hot dog. No. They have these egg sandwiches that are ridiculously good, and they cut the crust off for you. They've somehow created crustless bread that is super squishy and delicious, and they combine it into an egg sandwich, and it is the bomb. And it's specifically at 7-Eleven that has the good sandwich, because they have like Lawson's and some other ones that have all sorts of different things. And some places are better for one thing than the other. Lawson's is good for fried chicken. So like you get like karage, which is like boneless, deep fried chicken, and you get that at a Lawson's, and it's much better than 7-Eleven. The guy Strictly Dumpling, I don't know if you've ever seen his channel on thing. He's literally eaten. He spent an entire day in Tokyo, and all he did was eat out of a 7-Eleven and Lawson's, and literally, basically, took everything off the shelf and ate it. Because I think at one point the dude was like a competitive eater, so he could eat massive quantities of noodles. Pretty crazy.
We need to get Emily some fried chicken sometime soon.
You need some fried chicken?
Yeah. So and then like real good fried chicken, not just whatever is fast and near. We need to think about what's the best option for fried chicken, even if it requires a bit of a drive.
Like real Southern style home, like the might have to go down to Southern Virginia sort of fried chicken.
That's fine. I don't mind doing a little drive, but we want to eat it, and I like Popeyes, but that's not really like when you talk about fried chicken and how it should taste. And someone's like, "Oh, well, I have," she's from the West Coast. She didn't really know, so I'm not gonna take her to Popeyes and be like, "Here you go, enjoy. This is it."
You need is authentic Nashville hot chicken. We go down to Memphis,
dude,
and we get Nashville hot chicken. You would love it. That dipped stuff, it's really like just home style fried chicken dipped in this red deliciousness, and it is so good. Served with pickles and a slice of white bread. Which makes no sense.
I need fried chicken made by someone who's been making fried chicken and only fried chicken for like 30, 40 years. That's what I need.
I don't know, the Chumang chicken that's close.
Man, that was a disappointment.
You didn't like it as much?
What I liked was that because it was a new restaurant, they doubled our order for free. So we bought enough chicken for maybe like 2-3 meals, and then we had a boatload of chicken, way too much chicken, and we just spaced it out over a number of days.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I need to figure out who has the best fried chicken in Virginia. Because I would want to go.
So, I mean, we got it. It's gonna be somewhere. We just gotta find out where it is.
Yeah, there's got to be someplace local too. There's a southern.
It doesn't have to be like a restaurant, right? It doesn't have to be like, hey, it's this chicken restaurant.
You can get it.
Sometimes it'd be if it's in like a tiny little shack on the side of the road. That's fine too.
Yeah, there's a lot of places like that. So it's a matter of finding them. That's the problem. Here in the DC area, you have to sort of search. You don't necessarily find right away. I'm hungry again.
I know you did it to me. What the hell? I don't have any food. I need to go to the grocery store tomorrow.
I went today, so I got. My mom is making what she calls European steak tomorrow.
What's
But-
that?
It is. She takes good cuts of steak, and we have a couple good cuts of steak. What are you doing?
Experimenting with my look. Going for the Bieber.
That looks more like the Mo Howard,
Sorry.
from Three Stooges.
Oh wow, yeah, looking horrible.
Hey Mo! Hey Mo!
Emo.
That's the emo look. Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you want to just slit your wrist right now? And just
No. I want to.
like, is the world so dark?
dark movie. I want to think about dark things.
So it's like, well, I don't want to be conformist. No. While you conform with other goth people and wear black.
Got that Corona haircut or lack thereof. So
You still haven't gotten a haircut yet? I thought your sister cut
no,
your hair.
I got a haircut, but like it was a haircut just to like make my hair come off my ears, and so that it didn't look like I had this weird duck rat thing in the back. But it's still too long. It still doesn't have any purpose. So I don't know. I look like QAnon's worst nightmare, basically.
Well, I'm surprised. Well, speaking of like those crazy people, like the Breonna Taylor judgment came out today, and supposedly there are tons of protests, like in the city and stuff. So, like Louisville's on lockdown the next 2 days. But
Yeah, I think 2 police officers were shot today.
Jesus, oh God.
It's gonna go crazy, man. I don't know, man. I don't know what you do with that.
I don't know either.
It's not justice, and the response is not justified.
The response is anger. That's what
Yeah.
it is. Your anger.
But people wrongfully killed, leading to people wrongfully killed.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
and it doesn't, and no one's anger is sated in any way.
No, and then like it just makes for a weird situation. So it's like I don't even know what to think about it. So it's like it's just hard to sort of like put your mind around the whole thing. Because they were talking about it on WTOP, and they had a legal specialist from Kentucky that was based out of Louisville, and she was like, "Did you see this happening?" And she's like, "Yeah, I did," because like the way that the law is structured in Kentucky, it was justifiable in the minds of the police officers that were doing it, no matter how wrong it was, because as soon as the dude shot back, they were immediately in the right, no matter what,
Yeah.
because of the way the laws work. And this is just purely a law interpretation. And she was like, yeah, there was really nothing. They could try them, but he basically like presented the case to the grand jury, and based on the law that was on the books, they were never really going to get charged. The guy that got charged was charged for shooting his firearm into other houses because he was firing recklessly.
He got charged for the bullets that did not hit the lady.
So that's what he gets charged with, and I think it was like a D felony, they said, which
Right,
means
and
that
because it's a cop, it'll roll down even something smaller, and
he'll
and
settle.
that'll be out.
Yeah,
real
he'll
quickly
settle, no
for-
jail time, and he'll keep his job.
And he'll be getting paid the whole time too.
That is right. So everybody's angry about that, but everybody sees it as a perceived slight injustice, and it's like they were never going to come out of this in any good way based on. And she was saying it's just like is it? She was like mentioning all the different problems with the system, and it's like it's not anybody's fault in this particular case. It's the system that's broken, and until you fix that, then you were never going to have the result that the populace wanted versus
Yep.
like what people thought. So it's like,
You're not going to make people happy, man.
yeah.
And that shouldn't be, the goal is to do the right thing, but that's not the actual goal.
Yeah.
That's what should be the goal.
And you know what? More people are going to end up losing their lives because of it, and it's just like horrifying to think about. So, and the thing about it is you'll start to see images on places like Reddit and places like that where people will be shooting video because everybody's going to go out, they'll see it happening, they'll start recording video, take photos, and it'll just snowball into something crazier.
But here's the thing: if this were Portland, then Trump could come out and be like, "Look what's happening in these, Antifa havens and these radical left, all this stuff like that." This is Kentucky, so what's he gonna say?
So yeah, it's McConnell country. So it's like McConnell's got to come out and do something, I guess. So
I saw this awesome tweet came out, or maybe it was on Reddit. Fun fact: a blue whale's anus can stretch to approximately 3.5 feet, making it the second largest asshole on the planet, just behind Mitch McConnell.
He's gonna win in a walk too, and that's the other sad part. So it's just like, he is. I don't even want to get started on him. We'll save that for another day because that's just gonna make me angry, and I want to show off on something happy, and I'm looking for something happy, and unfortunately, I'm not seeing very much of it. So
Don't come to me. I can't help you.
yeah, I mean, should we talk about the fact that the last episode of Food Wars season 5 is this week, so that we can
Yes.
chain
So we can
the
watch
whole.
that together.
Yes, we can
Yeah.
watch the whole thing in one go and just be done.
Boom.
I know.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
And if I know you don't like volleyball, because why would you? There is
I
a
don't
hype
think
show that starts. It's part 2 of season 4 in a week, and the show is called Haikyuu. And this is Weeb Zolfon coming out. If you watch season 1, it's on Netflix. It is the most hype sports anime out there. It is fantastic, and there are 2 seasons on Netflix, but season 3 and season 4 are on Crunchyroll. But you can watch them. You can find episodes to watch them online for free. But amazing.
Okay.
Like I was
Well-
addicted to it. So
I don't know what to say. I could try.
oh, and the
You know what I like, anyways.
I know. Well, what's his face? The movie comes out in 3 weeks. The movie for Demon Slayer.
Oh yes.
Yeah, Demon Slayer movie comes out in Japan in 3 weeks. So
Awesome.
somehow that'll end up on the internet somehow, and you'll probably watch it for free.
Well, no, I don't break the law. I don't do things like that. So,
No, you're a law-abiding
find
citizen.
another way.
You're
Yeah,
just gonna have to
another
fly
way.
to Tokyo and watch it in Tokyo, I guess, right? Oh wait, no, Americans are banned from most countries in the world right now.
I'll just have to figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll figure it
But that is that apparently is a big deal. So that's one that they're going to hype up as soon as it come out, because that was the number 1 show in Japan like last year. So people loved that show.
Yeah, that was great. All right, well, let's shut this down. I think we've
All right.
done our thing here.
We've done our thing for an
Well-
hour. That's good.
We will next time we come back here. Let's have a plan, have a purpose, bring up some topics. The dating world is in worse shape than when we left it the last time. So
Oh,
there are a
they
lot
need
of
our
people out
help.
there,
They need our help. They need our help
And-
bad.
and they are suffering, and they
They need our help.
they hate it. So at least we can help them understand it while they hate it, because we can't fix it.
Oh, we should break it down for them, and then maybe we give them the last bit of thing, which was supposed to be hard truths. We wanted to add a new section going forward, so anybody who watches the show today, there's going to be a blunt section associated to the relationships that people have been suffering through COVID, and we will give them some hard truth. It'll be summary hard truths, maybe a couple sentences, but we will tell them to their face what the real problem is. And hopefully they take our advice and run with it. Because if not, then it might seem like we're just insulting them to their face. But it'd be fun to listen to. So, but yeah, that's it for us. Thank you for watching, anybody out there. So we'll see you next time.